Welcome to Path to Alignment with Hungry Yogi. My name is Natalie, your host. I'm a trauma-informed life alignment coach, yoga teacher, and retreat facilitator. If you made it here, you are ready to awaken parts of your soul that have been waiting to be unleashed. We will cover any and all aspects of the human experience. We get open and vulnerable about life and cover the shadows of life as well as the light. I'm so grateful that your soul found its way here. Let's get aligned. I'm back. Hello, everyone. Path to Alignment community. Oof, I lit some Palo Santo and it's blowing all over my face. I'm so happy to be back on the podcast. I feel like I've been gone for so long. I honestly don't even know where to start. As I was trying to figure out, what do I do for my very first episode back? I was getting overwhelmed. I was like, it needs to be perfect. It needs to be the perfect relaunch. And ultimately, I decided to just stop overthinking it, to stop trying to set a start day, a day where I'm going to sit down and record. I felt inspired and I just said, you know what? Let's just grab the microphone, turn on some lights. I'm in basically pajamas right now. I'm just at home resting today. And I said, let's just get it going now. I feel like I've been trying to put this off for so long and I've been making it such a big thing in my own head, making it as if I needed to make it the most perfect production, the most perfect this and that and that. And what I've learned from that is perfectionism doesn't get us anywhere. It literally just delays the process of starting anything at all. Now, there is a place for perfectionism. There's a place where it can come in and actually help and support you. But there's a place where it actually just keeps holding you back. And I've gotten to the place in perfectionism with this podcast where it's just held me back for 2 years. So let's just kind of backtrack for a second here. I want to just say hello to anyone that's watching the podcast for the first time ever. My name is Natalie. I am so happy to have you here. And hello to any of my returning listeners, any of you guys that were with me from the beginning of Path to Alignment. When it began, it was just an audio podcast. I didn't have video. I was just starting. I was just a girl. I was just inspired and got this kind of nudge to start a podcast. I didn't know what I was doing at all, but I just grabbed the microphone and I started recording and I would talk and I would share authentically. And I just had so many different things to talk about. And I realized that I just hadn't set a foundation up for myself. But something that I learned is that first you take the action and then things will start to unfold. A lot of the times we wait for things to be just perfect, for the time to be completely right in order to take action. But taking action creates that time for you, creates the space to emerge this newfound thing. And when I started Path to Alignment, I didn't know what I was getting myself into as far as recording and how much consistency it was going to take, how much dedication it was going to take for me to actually show up every week, no matter what I was feeling, and record an episode. It got to the point where there was times that I would launch the episodes every week. I think it was every Wednesday or Thursday at 5 a.m. The episode would be released on Spotify. And there was times where I would record an episode at 2 a.m. to release it 3 hours later because I was so committed to just getting it done and getting it out there. And some of the best episodes I recorded actually happened in that way, where it was just super spontaneous and I got to get this episode out and then something would emerge through me. So sometimes you have to just take the action and then the thing will come through you, right? Especially with creativity, we often wait for the right moment to feel that creativity nudge at you and be oh, you feel the inspiration, you feel that creative nudge, and then you do it. But sometimes the creative nudge doesn't come for a very long time. It could be days, it could be weeks, and sometimes it could be years. And for me, it feels like it's been years to wait for this creative nudge, this inspiration, this push. So I decided tonight to just take action because I did feel the creative nudge come. And I said, you know what? It's time. I can't keep waiting any longer. I'm not going to go do my hair and put on makeup and make this the most perfect episode. And also it made me think about how like everything nowadays is so perfect with AI, and you can find anything completely fine-tuned and filtered and not raw and authentic because it's fake. And sometimes we see things online now that look so real, we don't even know that they're actually fake. So I don't want to approach this podcast this time around from a place of like it needs to be so perfect, but rather how much more authentic can I be? How much more of my heart can I pour into this? How much more can I connect to my listeners? And how much more can I impact people through my voice and through my words? And that's how I choose to approach this podcast moving forward, not from a place of perfectionism, but just from a place of doing it, of showing up authentically. A long-winded way to say that I'm back, but I'm back. And I'm very excited to be back. And with that being said, 2 years, I think, since I last released an episode. And I love the version of myself that was so fearless and that released those episodes and that put herself out there in the world with whatever knowledge and wisdom she had at the time. I was so excited and so inspired. I was just coming out of graduating from an engineering degree, actually, and making the choice to not move into a corporate career. I had the choice to go work for a company, a really big company, make really good money. And last minute, as soon as I graduated, I said, you know what? That's not what I'm going to do. I was already teaching yoga classes. I was already building a community. I started the podcast with this like inspiration. I was doing life coaching at that time. I already had clients. There was just so many things that were moving for me that I said, let me bet on myself. I bet on myself 100%. And I can't believe, to look back, that was in 2022 when I decided to fully bet on myself. And fast forward, we're in 2026 now. Like, it makes me emotional even thinking about the fact that it's been 4 years since I made that decision. And the path has been a path to alignment. Like, even the fact that I got a little download in my mind at that time of the podcast name being Path to Alignment, my brand being a brand about alignment and aligning your life, aligning your mind, body, and spirit, through yoga, aligning yourself in all of the ways. And that I followed that nudge. And now fast forward to 2026, and to think about my life, it's been such a cool journey. Like, I've done how many retreats? 10 retreats now inside of my city, like mini retreats. They're called Matcha Mama retreats. I've done 10 of those in the past few years. I've hosted so many community events, and there's just been so much that I've been doing, not in the platform, like in this platform. I went to India. I did my 300-hour yoga teacher training this past year. There's just been so much stuff that's been happening in my life. I became a Pilates teacher. I became part of this incredible community at a place called Duo, which is where I teach Pilates and also yoga classes now as well. And it's just been so beautiful to see the journey unfold and to trust the process and to see who I was a few years ago and who I am now, and the way that it's all just been aligning. It's like all of it has been building blocks, and I've just been kind of stepping and following the path. And there's days where I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, truly, there's times where I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't know what I'm doing. But there's this literal, like, absolute feeling of peace inside of my heart and soul, and this inner knowing that everything is unfolding in the most magical way. And it actually has been really fun too, to choose a path where nothing is known, especially in a path of entrepreneurship, when you're not in maybe a corporate job where things are already laid out for you, like your retirement, what it's going to look like, the pension, the 401k, like your taxes, everything is kind of like situated for you in a way. Like that you can build up in your corporate ladder and eventually get promoted and all of these things. So there's kind of like a foundation that's set in place that creates a sense of safety within you, because like there's building blocks that you can actually see. But when it comes to entrepreneurship, this has been the most spiritually intense journey of my life, because it really comes down to how much do you trust? How much do you trust in yourself? How much do you trust in life? How much do you trust in God if you believe in God? How much do you trust in a higher power? How much do you trust? And it's been all about trust. And every day of my life, I have to come back to this trust. And that's the only way that it works, is through trust. And I get reminded constantly through little nudges from the universe to keep going. Like the moments that I start hitting rock bottom in some way, whether it's emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, in all of the ways, the universe literally puts something in my path, or a reminder of some sort. Sometimes it's something really big. Sometimes it's really small. At times it's an opportunity that literally changes the trajectory of everything. And it just reminds me, oh, this is why I do what I do. This is why I'm here. This is why I chose this. And when I look back, it's like, I am just so proud of the version of me that had no fucking clue what she was doing, but she chose this path. And by no way and in no means is it perfect, or am I there yet? I don't know if we ever actually get there, like whatever there means. For some, it may mean you made it when you make it financially, right? Whenever you buy the house or the car or the things. For others, it might mean that you have a certain amount of followers. For others, it might mean that you're just really happy. So if I'm looking at it from the sense of I'm just very happy and like in absolute awe with my life, even when things are really hard and challenging, I can genuinely say I am so in awe with my life. And to me, that's the definition of I've made it. Like if I can literally look at my life and say, holy shit, like I genuinely love my life. I'm excited to go into work. Work doesn't feel like work for me. I get to connect with humans. It's purposeful. It's meaningful. I impact others and they impact me. That to me is everything. So that's why I started this podcast, really, was as I was developing my own personal path to alignment and aligning my life, I created the podcast in order to share my journey authentically of like what that would even look like for me, but also to be able to provide others with nudges of wisdom or information that I've been getting in my own personal path, because I believe that we are all on similar paths in different ways. So for me, yoga has been one of the main things in my whole life that changed the trajectory of everything for me. For you, it might be something else. It might be rock climbing. It might be, I don't know. There's so many things. Like it could just be a hobby. It could be, what's it called? Crocheting. It could be something that just like spark something within you, and then your path begins to unfold. For all of us, it starts with something, one thing that just makes your soul come back to life, makes your soul come back online. Because I genuinely believe that that's what this path to alignment is all about, that's what this life is all about. I feel like from the time that we're really young, we're born and we forget. Like we grow up and we start to forget. We forget what was fun to us as children. We forget who we were when we were little. Life starts to program us in a certain way. We get into school and then we get programmed to sit, to do homework, to do things this way, do this or that, right? Within school, we get programmed as far as like who we are. Like we get these personas that are put on us, these characters based on like what mold you fit into in your school, or if you were like the sporty kid or the popular kid or the nerdy kid or whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, whatever category you end up fitting in, because ultimately in life, we end up getting put in boxes no matter what, right? Some people see me as the yoga teacher, and then they see me going to like dance at an EDM festival and they feel like, oh my God, my yoga teacher's at an EDM festival. Yeah, I am. Because I love to not put myself in a box, like I'm not here to put myself in a box. And part of the process of finding your path to alignment is actually unboxing yourself from all of those boxes that you've been put in. I recorded an episode about this in the past, about just getting out of the box, these boxes that we get put in, right? So life is just a process of going back and actually remembering who you were before you got programmed to be all of these other things. Because I really believe we're all born with this essence, like this essence that can't be duplicated. It can't be multiplied. It can't be cloned, because only you have that specific blueprint. Only I have my specific blueprint. And from a very young age, I remember who I was now because I've gotten to go back to that version of myself through many years of spiritual development, of unlearning all of these things that I thought I was, but turns out I'm actually none of those at all. And some of them I want to keep. There's certain things that develop through the process of being programmed in a certain way that you end up wanting to keep as a part of yourself. When we get deeper into a spiritual journey, you start to get deep into the ego, and you can really end up dissolving who you are completely as a human being. Like, you can fully dissolve who you thought you were and become an absolutely different person. I really do think that. But you're always going to have an essence there that is you, no matter what. And I think that there's beauty in not dissolving the entire self to become just kind of this blank slate, because then what's the point of having a past at all, you know? It's beautiful to have a past. It's beautiful to have suffered and to have trauma and pain that you went through that you get to look at now from this different lens, and like to choose, what do I want to transform that into? Like, what do I want to do with that? It's not just like, let me dissolve all of that and forget that it all happened, or put it to the side, but it's actually, who do I want to become through all of those experiences in my life? What parts of those experiences actually gave me something that I want to keep within myself that can help me in developing more purpose in my life? Whew. So yeah, the path to alignment is a process of remembering who you are. And the past few years for me has been so beautiful through this entrepreneurial journey of understanding who I am. Even starting this podcast for me was so like deep and profound, because starting this podcast was a reclamation of taking back my voice, because I was so scared to share certain things in my life back in the day. Or I had this thought that I've talked about in past episodes, that my words and what I have to share wasn't worthy of being heard. So I would stay silent and not share a specific thing, or something that felt like it could really support someone. I would kind of hold it back out of this belief that nobody wanted to actually hear what I wanted to say. And it's so silly, like the beliefs that we start to hold about ourselves and how true we make them out to be. But then the podcast was something for me that was like, no, let me break out of that. I don't want to believe that about myself anymore. That doesn't have to be true for me anymore. So that's when I started the podcast, because I wanted to develop this voice. And I really truly believe the podcast is what created a path for me to host retreats, to become a better teacher, a better yoga teacher, a better coach, better in so many aspects of my life and of entrepreneurship, to be able to communicate things more clearly, to be able to speak from a place of authenticity. Like, we don't know how one decision can completely impact the trajectory of our lives. So something that seems maybe a little bit small, like, and silly, like, oh yeah, let me just start a little podcast and talk. Like, actually, no, it's so much more than that. It's so much deeper than you think. Or let me start this, like, let me join this volleyball league. You think you're just going to play volleyball. No, actually, you're going to play volleyball. You're going to connect with other people. You're going to build leadership skills. And you get to be a part of a community and learn how to connect with other beings. Yeah, through a ball, but also that's going to show in your communication skills, in the way that you listen, in the way that you see things. It changes everything, because everything is connected. Everything touches everything, is what one of my coaches, Preston Smiles, always says. Everything touches everything. Everything is connected. There's not one thing that's separate from another. The job that you're in now, it's not separate from whatever aspiration that you're wanting to have in your life. And although this episode didn't have a specific plan, I really just wanted to turn the camera on and say, hello, I'm here, I'm back and I'm ready, I'm back and I'm better, I'm back and I'm excited to be more consistent with this community. And I'm going to put it out here into the world, into the ethers, into the universe. I have a really beautiful vision for this community. Like I want this to grow in such an organic way. I want to be able to connect with humans from all over the world and to have people find this platform and for it to be something that they feel like this safety coming to, like they feel at home. And although I'm just one person and I can't respond to every message all the time, or I'm actually just like not the greatest at connecting with people through messaging and social media, and I accept that about myself. But to know that energetically I'm able to put my voice out there and that it could support anybody, like that is so meaningful to me. I have a few people that I watch on YouTube that I've just found throughout the years. And I just know the feeling I get every time that they post an episode or a video once a week. Like I look forward to that. I look for, and they don't know who I am. They'll maybe never know who I am. But there's something so beautiful about, if we're going to use these platforms, these digital platforms, might as well make them meaningful, create conscious content that's going to support someone in their lives and pour some positivity into the world and something that actually helps people. We're already on these platforms. We're scrolling mindlessly through Instagram, through Facebook, through TikTok. So why not be a creator that is putting content out there that people can actually look forward to in a way that nourishes their soul, their mind, their body, and their soul? And if somebody else out there in the world can make me feel that feeling of like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited they posted a new video. Let me see if this person posted a new video today. If they can make me feel that, and I literally feel at peace while I'm watching their videos, like I might be just like eating a meal and watching one of their videos, or just like on my downtime, like let me find something productive to do rather than like scroll on my Instagram. And then I stumble upon their video and it's like, oh, my soul feels recharged. My goal is to be that for someone out there in the world. So if you happen to be here on this platform right now, I want you to know that although I can't see you, although I can't speak to you right now, or well, I am speaking to you right now, but although I can't like really, really speak to you with a dialogue back to back, I feel you, and I feel the impact that can be created through you being here. And I understand that we create ripples in people's lives by simply showing up authentically. Like, my words have power. Your words have power. When you share your words and you've done the inner work and you share something that's really beneficial to society in some way, in any way, you're creating ripple effects because you don't know who you're impacting. The person that's listening might then become inspired and go do something with their lives that they wouldn't have done had they not watched your video, right? So all that to say is, this space, my vision for it is for it to become that, a space to inspire others, a space to let go of perfectionism too, and to know like you can just show up exactly as you are. You don't have to be perfect in order to start something. Do the action and then you work from there. But first, you got to start by doing it. You got to start by going into it. There's this woman I follow on YouTube, and she always says this thing that when she says it, I get this like a resistance in my body. The yoga teacher in me, she always says, fuck your feelings, like do it anyways. She might say it's a little bit different, but she does say fuck your feelings. Like that's like one of her things. It's like, fuck your feelings, do it anyways. You might know who she is. Her name is Layla Hormozi. I love her videos. She's an amazing entrepreneur. I love watching like some of her entrepreneurial videos. So good. When I heard her say that the first time, like, fuck your feelings, do it anyway, I was like, oh, no. Like, that means you're avoiding your feelings and you're like putting something else before yourself and all of this, right? And as a yoga teacher, like something we teach is like listen to your body, or like honor yourself, honor what you need. But something else that I learned while I was in India is discipline. And discipline does require you to sometimes fuck your feelings and do it anyways and show up. So finding the fine balance between honoring yourself and saying, how much of this is me just like putting an excuse out there? And today specifically, like TMI, but I'm on my period. I was cramping. I was in pain. I was like, oh my God, like, am I really going to record an episode right now? Like, I'm in pain. Maybe I'll do it in a few days when like I feel a little bit better. And then I'm like, oh, my hair is, I haven't washed it in days. Maybe I should wait. Right. So those are like where I'm like, okay, you know what? No, like, let me fuck those feelings. Like, we don't need that here. Put that to the side, because that's actually just preventing me. That's actually just an excuse from starting something. So anyways, that is all for today. That's all I'm going to share for this episode. But I'm so excited to share some more in the future episodes. I have so many exciting episodes. While I was in India, you guys, I recorded episodes with my Ayurveda teacher, with my philosophy teacher, my meditation and mantra teacher. I recorded an episode with a very, very special guest this past year. So I have episodes that I'm just like really excited to launch and to release to you guys. They've just kind of been brewing and waiting for the perfect moment, right? So I'm ready to bring this back. I'm ready to nurture this community. I'm ready to let go of excuses that are holding me back from just showing up. And at the same time, I really honor the time that I had away from this specific thing, from the podcast. It was necessary. And who I am now, oh my God, I'm just so excited to share with you guys so much that I've learned over the past few years. I feel so much more embodied. Like, I feel like what I was sharing a few years ago was so authentic and genuine and pure. But I really feel like over the past few years, I have gotten an opportunity to fully embody so much of what I was sharing in a way that I didn't know was possible. So if you're here, thank you. And if you're new here, I really hope that you stick around and that these episodes support you. Leave a little comment below, like the video. If you're on Spotify, YouTube, I don't know, wherever you're watching this from, just show me a little bit of love and support so that I can see that you're there and so we can grow this community together. I'm very, very, very excited. Yay! So welcome to Path to Alignment, and I'll see you guys weekly, okay? Okay. Thank you for tuning into Path to Alignment. I'm so happy to have you here. If you're enjoying the podcast and you want to go even deeper into your path to alignment, join my Path to Alignment community. I'm going to be leaving a link in the description of this video for you to look into what is in my Path to Alignment community. In that community, we do virtual yoga classes, I do workshops, and all sorts of amazing things. And you get to connect with other like-minded souls that are also on their own personal path to alignment. So click the link below and you'll be able to find out everything about my Path to Alignment community.